Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am your host, Tommy. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up. All right, y'all. So we're going to start this off with some training camp news. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. All right. So we just started training camp. Awesome. Thank God. Totally missed football. I've been dying here with boredom for the past, I don't know, like what, 4 months? Like with nothing. I mean, the draft kind of saved me a little bit. Other than that, it's been, pretty quiet. Listen, I like other sports, basketball, baseball, stuff like that. But football is my passion. Buffalo Bills is my passion, right? Um, so thank God, man. We are 2 weeks away from training from 2 weeks away from preseason football against the Lions, and we are about 43 days away from the first game against Pittsburgh, man, at home. So I am super excited. But yeah, let's start off with this training camp news. We had our first fight. Ed Oliver, of course, Ed Oliver, and the rookie Spencer Brown going at it. I think they went at it day 2. Little fist being thrown there. Spencer Brown jumping on top of Ed Oliver. Yeah. But that's going to happen, guys. Oh, listen, it's competitive stuff. That's what happens. This is football, man. I'm glad to see it, man. Spencer Brown's just trying to show he's not going to be probably bullied around out there. And that's all good, man. I like that, man. That's the way it should be, right? So, next, injuries. Jerry Hughes out with the calf strain. Not a big deal. I hope that people aren't, acting like this is a big deal. It's not, folks. This is something that's minor. The coaching staff is not worried about it. Brandon Beane is not concerned. This is normal. There's going to be a lot of stupid injuries like this, or veterans sitting out for a couple of days. He probably could be out there, but why? He's a veteran. He'll be back next week, or I really want to stress the Jerry Hughes calf strain. I just want to stress it. Then of course you got Deion Dawkins out. Snowman, he's out because maybe he's the one that got the COVID. They're not really saying, but it was him and another player. One had COVID or something like that. No, I think both had COVID and one wasn't vaccinated, something like that. Either way, he'll be back probably in a week. Not, once again, something that's not that concerning. How our team's looking. So the offense, from what I'm hearing, is looking phenomenal. Great so far. And of course, I understand this is no pads right now. I get that part, but they always say Josh Allen, since, he's been a rookie, even last season's come out a little bit, a little slow during the first couple weeks of training camp. Then he picks it up. They said that Josh Allen is actually the best they've seen in training camp for the first week, since he's been here, right? Since we drafted him. That's good news. That's really good news. And then the offense is also clicking. They're saying on all cylinders. It's just everybody is just, it's just going good, folks. So that's an awesome thing to hear. Also, I got to say, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about Isaiah McKenzie potentially being cut. I keep telling everybody, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. McKenzie's here to stay. McKenzie is going to be the 5th receiver on his team. Okay? I'm telling you, Brandon Beane loves him. Sean McDermott loves him. Brian Daboll loves him. He's not going anywhere. He's the guy he's our gadget guy. They trust him. He's more than likely going to be the kick returner or punt returner. We'll see. Maybe Marquez Stevenson shows out. But so far in camp, he's looking great. They're saying, he's shaking and baking people, man. So they're saying he's looking good, man. So I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it. McKenzie's a roster lock in my book. I can't see him cutting him. I just can't. Also, to get back to Marquez Stevenson, man, they're saying he's showing out. So of course they can't say too much because it's limited what the media can say. But from what I heard, Marquez Stevenson is showing a lot of speed, which of course we knew. And he's also he's creating separation. So that's really good, right? So that means he's getting open. Okay. Now they didn't say if he's dropping passes and stuff like that, but they're just saying he's showing out pretty good speed, creating separation. That's really good for the rookie. I think he can earn that sixth spot if they're going to have six receivers, which I believe they will. They also say Kumero's looking good too, but I don't know, man. They drafted Marquez Stevenson for a reason. They didn't draft Jake Kumero. I know fans like Kumero, and I would like to keep him. But there's only so many players you can keep on the team, unfortunately. And if we put him on practice squad, more than likely, he'll get picked up by another team. So I don't see Kumero making the team, but we'll see. We'll see. You never know. Levi Wallace and Dane Jackson battling for the number 2 spot. Right now, Levi Wallace has that spot. They're saying Dane Jackson's looking okay, but he's running more with the 2s right now. So I don't think Dane Jackson's going to take that spot from Levi. But you never know, right? Things can change. And that's not a, given, that position there is not given to Levi Wallace. He's going to have to earn that too. So that's interesting. Also, Saran Neal, a guy that's been here a couple seasons, he's showing out. Everybody's giving him major props. And I always like Saran Neal. I think he's like a hybrid player. So he's a safety. It's perfect because we don't have DeMarlo anymore. He's a perfect fill-in as a backup safety. And like I said, even that linebacker role, he's a hybrid player, man. That guy, he's something else, man. I think Saran Neal is going to show out this season. See, half people which side do you like? John Brown. I can't understand what you're saying there. See, half PPR. Which side do you? Waller or John Brown or Jay Tyler? I don't understand the question. Can you rewrite that? Sorry. I mean, I'm getting the Landry Higby. I don't know what you're saying there, bud. If you can you retype that? So yeah. Also, Boogie Basham and Gregory Rousseau running with the ones. That's pretty big. And obviously, we know Jerry Hughes isn't playing. Oh, that's okay. See, I'm getting to fantasy football a little bit later. And then I'll go over that. I got somebody joining me later. Friend of mine, Dolphin fan, boo. We're gonna go over some fantasy football later. But yeah, so Boogie running with the ones, Gregory Rousseau running with the ones. Boogie had a pick 6 against Josh Allen. He actually tipped it to himself. Of course, he's freaking like 6'6", right? Like with a huge wingspan. So yeah, so that's good. By the way, Saran Neal also had a pick 6. So yeah, that's all promising, man, and that's what I expected. They're gonna get rotations with the ones, for sure. They just are in training camp. We're gonna see how this rolls out. Preseason is gonna be big for those guys, and let's see how they show out. Now, the bad Jake Fromm, of course. Jake Fromm was bad last season. He's gonna get cut. I'm telling you right now. They're not going to keep another quarterback for the COVID quarterback thing that they had last season. It's not going to happen. Fromm, they're saying, is throwing like 5 feet over someone's head. He's just throwing into double coverage. He's just looking bad. No reason to have that guy on the team, to be honest with you. I never liked the pick. I mean, I get it. It was like a late round pick, but he does nothing for us. If he ever came in for us, it would be a disaster. Yeah, not good. Also, a little surprising, Isaiah Hodgins, for as much hype as they were giving him last season and even early on this season, they're saying he's struggling a little bit versus like the corners that are basically being physical with him. He's having a tough time getting separated. That's not good. Like, so he has to either get some strength, go in the weight room, something, but not good. So, but it's early. Like I said, I'm not stressing it right now, but I was kind of hoping to hear better news from Isaiah Hodgins. So yeah, that's right now the training camp news that I got for you for the we just started on Wednesday. I know we had a live camp today. A couple people I talked to actually were over there. Lucky you guys. So I hope you guys had a good time. I know they were chanting MVP when Josh Allen came out, which they should have because he was MVP. I mean, I know I'm being a homer here, but I feel like he was, man. I really do. Also, Cole Beasley was getting cheered, so that's good, right? So not a lot of like hating. No one's hating on Cole Beasley. And what else in training camp was there? Oh, and then the interviews. So of course the Cole Beasley interview, I thought he did that really well. If I just wish he would have done that before the whole Twitter thing, like he never did the Twitter thing and just went off with that speech that he had prepared. I think that was professional of him. It was to the point. If you agree or disagree, it is what it is. But I think he handled it better that way than on Twitter. So that's what I got for you guys. Other than that, all the other press conferences are just the same. The coach is not going to give up much. Neither is Brandon Beane. So yeah. So, and especially, by the way, McDermott. Yeah, McDermott, the coach, he's not giving anything really up. These are all basic answers. And I do want to say one thing. Josh Allen, when they were asking him about the contract, and he was just totally avoiding it, saying, look, I'm just here to be the best quarterback I could be. I don't know. To me, it sounds like he's a little frustrated with it. I mean, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but I don't think he wants to go into the 5th year without a new deal. And if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I'm Brandon Beane, I'm getting that deal done sooner than later. It's going to cost you more if you do it later. It's just the facts. He's our guy. Figure it out. Pay the man. Get it done. I have a feeling they're going to get it done maybe mid-season. I don't see him waiting until next season. I just don't. But hey, man, we'll see, man. I know it's money, right? You gotta work the numbers, man. You gotta make it right. But I believe in Brandon Beane, and he'll get it done. All right, hey. So I have a special guest today. He's a friend of mine. He's from Miami. Now, many of you guys might not know this, but I grew up in Florida, Miami. I would live there a long time. I'm now in Detroit for the past 5 years. But he's a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, he's a Dolphin fan. But I figured I'd bring him on here, talk about his Dolphins. Why not? So I'm going to bring him on here. Let's see. Daryl, can you hear me? He's having bad signal, by the way.
I can hear you. We're loud and clear right now.
All right,
can you see me?
I cannot see you. I have I don't know, it's just nothing there. You want to jump back off, get off, and come back in because I see a black screen. Oh, there you are.
Let me try
there you are. Yeah, you are.
Okay.
My buddy, just like the no good Dolphins, he has no good reception. You see how that works, buddy?
I'm sorry. I do apologize.
This is just typical Dolphin right here. Typical Dolphin fan. This is what this is what you get from Dolphin fans. Crappy Wi-Fi, crappy team.
Crappy team.
But hey,
that's how it goes.
I want to welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us here. I know this is a Buffalo Bills channel, but listen, you're an honest guy. Whenever we talk sports, you're brutally honest about your teams. I give you credit for that.
Yes.
let's
Yes.
dive into your Dolphins, because I'm not a
Well,
big Dolphin fan. So what did you think about? Let's start with last season. What did you think about last season? What did you think about Tua? And what did you think about your coach? Go ahead.
all right. First of all, real quick, I'll just get out this way. Thank you for having me on here, Bills Mafia. Thank you so much. I know we're rivals, but thank you for having me on. And let's get started. Last year, you know, 10-6, I couldn't be happier with it. Listening to you, what you were just talking about before, we're talking about two different ball clubs here. You guys are, the Buffalo Bills are a lot more established. You guys were right on the pinnacle of getting to that Super Bowl. I was actually shocked you didn't get there and actually pull it off. I had you guys to go it all the way, and that's tough for me to say being a Dolphins fan, but I thought you guys were there, and I think you guys are all, obviously our biggest competition. We went 10-6 last year. Um, Obviously we saw some things, being a Dolphin fan, Tua getting pulled early, the whole Ryan Fitzpatrick thing. But hey, we got to be honest, it's going to take time. This guy's got to learn. He came off a really bad injury, so it's going to take time. We got to be patient. I know a lot of Dolphins fans are not being patient, and to be honest with you, we'll get into this as we talk training camp. Seeing some of the things going to training camp right now, it's going to take even more patience because, some of the pieces are, we got some injuries right now, and we got to wait and see how everything goes. It's still kind of that rebuilding process.
Okay, that's fair. So let me ask you this though, and be honest here. So last season,
Okay.
when your coach decided to start Ryan Fitzpatrick in the beginning, you guys were actually winning games, and then your coach decided enough of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let's bring in the Rook and start the Rook. But my concern, if I was a Dolphin fan, would be after that you
Yep.
were pulling him during games just to have Fitzpatrick come in and close the show. Isn't that? I mean, isn't that going to mess with Tua a little bit as far as like confidence goes? Wouldn't you think that he wouldn't want that? For as much as
Uh huh.
Tua said that he did.
100%. And I love the direction that Brian Flores has this going on team and Chris Greer, the general manager, but I didn't agree with that, and I didn't get it. I didn't quite understand it. And I knew that, you know, Fitz, he's the man, he's the veteran, but I didn't like that where they're taking him out, bringing him in. I mean, we weren't set to try and nobody thought that the Dolphins would go 10-6 last year.
No, no doubt,
I
no
didn't like
doubt.
that though, that they were pulling him way too much, and then towards the end we went with him, and he struggled, which is understandable, but this year's different. We're going. They're fully invested, so they say, in Tua. Now, granted, they have invested in a very good backup in Jacoby Brissett, and just to touch on training camp a little bit, he's looking great. Um, what does that mean? I still think they're going to ride the Tua thing. Are we going to see this in and out between Brissett and Tua? I don't think so. Um, I think they're actually going to give him the reins and see what he has. And even with one full year, I still think the Dolphins need to be patient with him and see what he has to offer.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen, I'm a firm believer in almost any sport. You got to give rookies, I would say, 2 or 3 seasons to prove themselves, to show their growth. No doubt about it. But kind of seems like sometimes the NFL, lately at least, they're not, if it's not working out, they're moving on or they're drafting a new quarterback. And I'll give you a perfect example was Josh Rosen for the Arizona Cardinals, who lasted 1 season, and you know how that went. And now they got a way
Yeah,
better quarterback. So my point
yeah.
is this. This is how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but if Jacoby Brissett winds up coming in for Tua, I truly believe that Tua will be done in Miami. Because at that point, you're killing the kid's confidence. You don't trust him. It's year 2. There should be no reason why Tua would be pulled like that again during games. If I'm Tua, I would be pissed and want to trade anyways. If you're doing that to me, you got to let the kid learn. Last season, I feel like you guys should have ran with Fitzpatrick the whole season, kind of like how Alex Smith did with the Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes sitting for the first season. That would have only helped Tua learn, watch the veteran play, and you guys maybe would have won a game or two more, to be honest with you, and gotten into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was a mistake by your head coach, which I believe your head coach is a really good coach, by the way. I kind of feel like maybe he's not so confident in that draft pick, but we'll see how it goes this season. But I'm gonna say, like I said, if he does that same thing, then I truly believe you guys will draft another quarterback, or you might even try to get Deshaun Watson when he's available, when all that mess goes away. What do you think?
Um, you know, I think there's a lot of question marks right now. Um, you know, you can see where they've invested. You know, they went and got Tua. I mean, what else? What else could you get for a perfect fit? Another Crimson Tide, you know, teammate in Jalen Waddle, the speedster. But you know, to be honest with you, going into camp right now, which we'll touch on, Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, Will Fuller, the other addition that the other toy that they're giving to all hurt. So, you know, how much that'll affect him. The good thing is Albert Wilson right now showing very good signs. Albert Wilson had a horrible hip injury, sat out the 2020 season due to COVID. He's looking great right now. And another player, Robert Foster, the Bills Mafia. I'm sure you guys remember him.
Yeah,
Having a
we like
great.
Robert Foster. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, he's looking good, but that's the biggest question mark right now with the Dolphins is that wide receiver, we're stacked. Lynn Bowden Jr., you know, Jakeem Grant, mostly a returner, but he's kind of that gadget guy that we can plug in there. Lynn Bowden Jr., and then Parker and all these other guys. Where does everybody fit in? Even Matt Collins, I mean, when everybody was hurt last year, he filled in also. But that's the biggest question is that these guys staying healthy and how that will, you know, help too with his productivity. And
Well,
so that's a big question going in. You know, it's
what I did notice about Tua last season, a couple things that I didn't really like. One, I didn't see the deep ball much by him. He was accurate, sure, but I felt like a lot of his passes were short, kind of like safety, like they were just like safe passes. I didn't see anything that was like, or he was taking a chance, like a Fitzpatrick came in and you know you saw that he would throw deep. He gave your receivers an opportunity. I didn't really see that in Tua. I kind of felt like he was hesitant. And for as much as Tua is known to have speed, he really didn't have that many yards rushing. And maybe that's because he was still dealing with that injury or maybe a little nervous. And then also, I will say this. Josh Allen, you know, as you know, had a bad rookie season, okay? But he still has those wow moments where you can say, you know, look back and go, you know what? Yeah, he had a bad season, but I could see the writing on the wall with the kid. Like, you know, he made some splash plays,
Yep.
some wow moments. I did not see that by Tua. And now, mind you, I didn't watch all your games, but you know, the highlights or whatever, the replays that I did see, I didn't see anything that stood out that was like, you know, whoa, you know, wow, look at that throw. Or I just kind of felt like he played it safe, and maybe your coach didn't like that. I don't know, or maybe it could be like I said, Tua was coming off the injury, and that's a whole nother reason why maybe he should have never even played last season. You know what I mean? But hey, it's a new season.
I agree with that. Yeah, he you know, he did come out and say this offseason that he wasn't comfortable with the playbook, and he was probably a little too honest. He came out and said that, quite frankly, he was kind of just winging it out there. He just wasn't comfortable, and I felt like that's why they had to invest in these, you know, signing Will Fuller and drafting Jalen Waddle. But the big question is also here is the situation going on with Xavier Howard. Is that this week he obviously he showed up to camp and he practiced about the first two practices, and then all of a sudden he walked up to the sideline. And saying that he had an injury. So this is the big deal is that we all know the Deshaun Watson situation. Are we going to trade Xavier Howard, and maybe pull in that big quarterback? I mean, we offer Tua and Xavier Howard and maybe a pick. It could happen. Houston's from what we're reading is they're wanting a lot. So that situation's going to have to play out. Me personally, I think they need to pay the man. And the reason why I say that is that if you look past Xavier Howard, we got a second-year corner and Igbendani, excuse me if I've butchered your name there, but Nick Needham. So, and we got some big shoes to fill when we got you guys twice, a season with Stephon Diggs. So I think with the X-Man, you got a playmaker. You got somebody that can lock it down. And I know we didn't fare well against you guys last year, but we need that. We really need that. So I think they need to pay him, keep him, because there's a big drop-off at the corner position if you let him go.
Oh, no doubt. To me, he's a top 5 corner. You got to pay him. If you don't, then you better get a lot for him. And yeah, to be honest with you, depending on how this Watson case goes, I could see him being packaged if that's what they're trying to go with, just to make the deal happen so you don't lose a lot of first round picks, because Houston supposedly, what I'm hearing is they want 3 first round picks. I just don't see that happening. I would never.
Yeah.
I want to give that up. I know he's good.
No.
He's really good. He's a top 10 quarterback, but it's just still right now with everything that's going on, man. I don't know if I would touch that until maybe after this season. I would let the whatever's going on with that whole situation settle down. And clearly, from what I heard, he wants to go to Miami. So I would wait the season, let him sit out, let him handle whatever he has to handle. But maybe Tua's the guy. Maybe he works out for you guys, and you're not even talking about a situation. But with the Xavier Howard, that's a whole nother situation. If you're not trying to use him as trade bait, if he's going to be acting like, a fool in training camp where he's not really hurt, but he's trying to play that role like he's hurt because he don't want to really play with you guy, whatever, then that could cause a distraction in the locker room. Yeah, man. I mean, that's bad. It's never good when you got players who want to hold out. But yeah, so go ahead.
I mean, I think if you look at, the AFC right now, the 2 top teams, I mean, the writing's on the wall right there. Is the opponent that you guys met, the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm fully confident they're going to be right there. And when you look at the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't think they're going anywhere. And they're both teams are very pass heavy. They don't rely on the run game too much. I mean, yes, Kansas City maybe a little bit more, but both quarterbacks very talented. You got to have a good, smart veteran defense. We're young right now. Obviously we have Byron Jones. If we can keep Xavier Howard at the end, supposedly we got a rookie safety that we drafted that, he has a big upside, but he's young. You know what I mean? So I think it's vital to keep Xavier Howard. Josh Allen, he can do it all. Patrick Mahomes, he can do it all. And I'm even just looking at the farther picture, so I think if the Dolphins, if they really want to compete, you get that done. I think they've addressed some issues on the defense as far as depth. We got a lot of second-year players that are looking good on the front line. Raekwon Davis, we're expecting a big year from him. Andrew Van Ginkel's coming off an injury. He could be a good edge rusher. And, Siegel, he could be a game changer too. But a lot of question marks. We're not there yet, but we could be. And but right now we got our hands full with you guys. I think the Patriots are going to slowly get back there, and the Jets they're starting their rebuilding process right now.
Well. So here's how I see the AFC East shakedown. How I see it. I think you're wrong about the Patriots. I think the Patriots have been slowly going downhill. I think as far as good as great, let's say, as Belichick is, the greatest coach ever, no doubt. You got to give him that. For as great as he is as a coach, I don't think he's done a great job as a GM. I think that
agree.
he drove Brady out of town. I don't think he helped Brady with the weapons. Hold on real quick. What's going on? I made it to the live stream finally. Hey, what's going on, brother? Yeah, I'm on with my buddy Dolphin fan here. But yeah, we were just going on. We're still in it, buddy. Anyways, yeah. So I back to the Patriots. I think that Belichick, like I said, great coach. I just think he's done a terrible job as far as GM for the past, I would say, 5-6 seasons. They're trying to go back to the old school mentality of the 2 tight end set, which I don't think both those. I think they overpaid on their tight ends that they got. They're not, if they think that's they're Gronk and Hernandez, they're not. They're good tight ends, but they're not a Gronk. They're not a great tight end.
Yeah.
I also think that Cam Newton, for as much as everyone's saying he's, the healthiest he's been, I don't believe that. I think Cam Newton will probably get through 5-6 games, and his arm will start going to noodle. That's just the way it is with him. Something happened. Yeah. I think the quarterback that they drafted, Mac Jones, was a bad pick. I think he's super slow. He's not mobile at all. I think they're trying to do they're trying to get I don't know, Tom Brady-ish quarterback, but there's only one Tom Brady. I think that was a bad pick. I think they're going to wind up getting another quarterback. And I don't feel like they got weapons on the outside. I see them battling for the worst record in the AFC East with the Jets. Now the Jets are a mess. They're always a mess. They got a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, they are.
They got a rookie quarterback with no veteran quarterback presence. They got 2 backups I've never heard of in my life. And a rookie who's going to start with nobody to turn to when he goes to the bench after, let's say, making a bad throw or whatever. That's a problem. That's a huge problem because every rookie quarterback, in my opinion, should have a veteran quarterback to go to, talk to, on the sideline. And he doesn't have that. The Jets are just a mess. I see the Jets winning 4 or 5 games at most. I think the Patriots are a 6-7 win team. You guys, I think the Dolphins could be a 10-win team, 11 wins, depending on how Tua works out. If Tua doesn't work out and you guys are swapping Jacoby Brissett back in or whatever, you guys could win 8 games, 9 games. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to run away with the division again. Remember, it's 17 games. We went 13-3 last season. We have I feel like our schedule is one of the easiest in the NFL. Our first 4 games, 3 out of 4 are at home. And then they'll finish the season, we're 3 of 4 at home. We only have 2 tough game stretch, which is in the middle, which is Kansas City and at Tennessee. Other than that, we have at Tampa way down the road. I'm not, listen, every game is hard, but I feel like we match better. So week 1, we got Pittsburgh at home with Ben Roethlisberger, who I think Pittsburgh's making a mistake by keeping him another season. I felt like they should have addressed the quarterback. I don't see them beating us. And then we have you guys on the road. And then after that, we're back at home against Washington. So I just feel like our schedule is pretty smooth. Who do you guys play week 1?
Week 1, I believe we have. Is it Baltimore? I think. I have to look. But I know home opener week 2 we have. You
got us. Yeah. But who do you got week 1? Let's see. Let's see. Week 1. Let's see. Week 1, the Dolphins. You should know this, Dolphin fan. You see, you guys, Bills Mafia. This is what I'm talking about with Dolphin fans. Bad Wi-Fi and don't know game one. Come on, man. This is what I'm talking about, guys, right here. There's this is what they do. I got to look it up for the Dolphin fans. Let's see here. So
I'm looking.
I'm gonna
Hold on.
let's see, because come on, Dolphin fan. Week 1.
We got the Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots. You guys lose to the Patriots. Are you at home or on the road? You're on the road.
We are on the road.
You're in
and
Foxborough.
then we are back home for your Buffalo Bills.
Yep. Well, I gotta say, man, if you guys can't beat the Patriots, you're in trouble. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you lose against the Patriots and you lose against us, that's an 0-2 start, and then you got decisions to make with Tua. Because by then it might be a Tua situation.
Right. Let's be on, and I'm gonna keep it real here. I'm gonna keep it completely real. I'm a Dolphins fan for a while now, but would you be surprised? No, you wouldn't be, because between, but I think I shouldn't say that. I think this is going to be different. I do love Brian Flores. I think that, things are different now. I hope he proves me wrong, or proves me right. And, things are different. And we continue to build off this season. Real quick, I want to touch on the two. One thing that the Bills and the Dolphins do share is we both drafted from. You want to finish this, Tommy?
What drafted from what?
The
U? Yeah, yes, 100%.
Okay,
Gregory Rousseau, baby.
So, all right. Real quick, I'll touch on this. I know I've kind of maybe extended my time here, but he's looking at his part in training camp. Jalen Phillips, he's looking his part. Will that transcend on the field? Who the hell knows? He looks the part. He's playing the part. He's looking great. That would be a great addition to get Mr. Josh Allen down on the ground. Let's see how that will transcend. He's a rookie. How is your guy doing in training camp there? What's the report?
Which guy? We're Gregory Rousseau, the guy from the U.
Well,
he's looking as expected. He's running with the ones right now because Jerry Hughes is out with the calf strain. Don't forget, we got Boogie Basham too. We got 2 defensive edge rushers back to back in that draft. But Rousseau's looking like a freak. He's 6'6", 270 pounds.
Yep.
Let me tell you who he kind of reminds me of. And I know you're going to remember this guy, Mario Williams. Williams.
We had him for a short stint. Yes.
Right. You had him for the bad stint. We had him for the good stint. Houston had him for the great stint. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how big this man was. 6'6", 299 pounds coming out of the draft. Okay. Gregory Rousseau, 6'6", 270 pounds. Very close in size. And I will say this about Gregory Rousseau, that many people are like, oh, he needs to gain weight. Can he gain weight? So when he went to the Miami Hurricanes as a redshirt freshman, he didn't even play football. He was I think he was a basketball player. He came in weighing 6'6", 199 pounds. He gained 67 pounds in a year.
Wow.
And by the way, that's not fat. If you look at the guy, he's chiseled. So that just tells
he looks like a freaking statue. Yeah.
So now he's in the NFL. What are they going to do? They're going to put him in that weight room, and I can guarantee you, he gains another 15 pounds of muscle. So he's probably going to go from 270 to about 285, 280, 285. I would say something like that before the season starts. That's where I see Rousseau, and boy, watch out. So that's how I feel about my Miami Hurricane player. I do have to ask you this though. I know you guys got rid of your coordinator, right? You got rid of our old coach, Chan Gailey, right? He's no longer your coordinator. Who's your coordinator now, and do you like him?
And this is another weird scenario here, is that We have got two offensive coordinators right now. So I know that sounds a little bit weird, but that we have to see. Like I said in the beginning, this is a little bit of a question mark, and see how this goes. But um, it's just one of those things that we're in a rebuilding stage, and we're we're trying something new here. So
I got you.
um,
I got you. And
it's
I want to ask you this: what is the deal with your crappy fan base? I noticed a lot of home games. You have more Buffalo fans there than Dolphin fans. Why do? And I'm being honest here. Why do Miami
of
fans in
course, yeah,
general? Why do Miami fans in general? Why don't they go to game? Like I will say this: the Heat fan base is pretty strong. I will give you guys that. You guys go to the games. You guys got one of the better
yes,
fan base as far as basketball goes. I will give you that. I've been to a few Pistons because I'm a Piston fan. I've been to a few Piston Heat games in Miami when I lived there. And man, you guys show out. You guys are loud. It's usually always busy, or packed. Okay, but the Dolphins, I've been to a few Bills Dolphins game. Man, I gotta say, you guys are kind of crybabyish. You kind of leave a little early, or you don't show up, or you
yeah.
get late. Bills Mafia usually runs Miami Stadium. You guys got to fix that, man. What's up with that?
Well, as far as a comparison to Heat, the Heat have had more success recently than the Dolphins, obviously. I mean, it's we've had a lot of trials and tribulations if you're a Dolphins fan. A lot of a lot of aches, you know. Um,
Oh, I
and
hear
to be
you.
honest, the Bills have owned us for quite some time, and it's it's been it's been pretty bad if you're a Dolphins fan. I've been to several Buffalo Bills um, games, and the Buffalo Bills fans, Bills Mafia, um, travel very well. They travel very well, and
Yes.
no, I've had the offer to go to the home opener, and I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of over that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm chalking that up as a win right now. Maybe we might shock you guys, but I'll go check out another game. But um, you know, you guys travel well, and I do think it's that South Florida is a melting pot of New Yorkers, not just New Yorkers, but everybody around the area. I've been to different shit. I've even been to a damn Carolina Panthers game. And they showed up well, so it's just
Fair.
a
That's
melting
fair.
pot of different people from around the country that reside in Southeast Florida, and they come down. And when their team shows up, hey, why not? It's a beautiful atmosphere. You're in Miami. It's a great stadium to come to, um, and support your team that's coming out of state. You know what I mean? We have our
Well,
Dolphins fans there. They're supporting and are there, but we've had a long, uh, you know, from the Dan Marino area. Era. We've had a long while since we've seen some success.
I will tell you this, Daryl. Um, I lived through many, 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 many seasons of misery. But I always stuck with my Buffalo Bills. And I always said this, it's funny because when you're a diehard fan of any
Yes,
team, it's always this is the year. This is the
I know
year.
what you mean. I know.
This is the
I
season.
know where
This
you're
is the
going with this. I
coach.
know where you're going with this.
This is the best draft pick we've had in years. It was always you want to believe so bad that you're gonna that you're gonna win that year, and it's just like it never happens, right? So what did we finally do right as a Buffalo Bills organization? We went out and got a great coach and a great GM. And I've always said for a team to succeed, no matter what sport, basketball, baseball, football, it starts from the top and to the bottom. So
Completely.
you
Yes.
gotta have a great
Yes.
GM, you gotta
Yep.
have a great coaching staff, and then you gotta have the players. You cannot start from the players and up because it doesn't work that way. I'm telling you, I've had we for instance, I did a show last week, Daryl, about the 2002 Buffalo Bills. We finished 8-8 that season. You want to hear how crazy of our stats were on offense? Okay, Drew Bledsoe had over 4,500 yards passing. Eric Moulds had nearly 1,300 yards receiving. Peerless Price had almost 1,300 yards receiving.
Fearless Price.
Travis Henry had 1,500 yards rushing. If I were to tell you all those stats, you would say that was a 10-win team, probably, right? 45.
Hey, FYI, real quick, I wanted Travis Henry when he was a free agent from the Buffalo Bills. And I remember, I'll never forget this. I called into a Dolphin beat writer on the radio down here, and he was like, "You're crazy. We're not going to get Travis Henry." Unfortunately, he got, I think he got locked up. But
yes,
I love Travis Henry. He torched the Dolphins all the time.
Yeah, so did Eric Moulds, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Eric Moulds is I mean, I know he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's damn close to it. He had finished his career. He finished his career 10,000 yards, 5 yards short of 10,000. He had 9,000 with the Buffalo Bills. He was with us 10 years. And I always say this, for as bad as our teams were, for a player to stick around 9 seasons that isn't a quarterback, that's truly amazing, because most of the time, a very good to great player on a bad team will eventually leave 3 or 4 seasons. They want to get the hell out of there. And you got to remember, too, about Eric Moulds. Eric Moulds played with 5 different quarterbacks, I think 3 different head coaches. By the way, when you switch head coaches, you switch offensive coordinators. And for him to still put up the yards he did is impressive. That's truly that's unbelievable. So, anyways, my point was, for as good as that team was on that finished that year, the stats wise, we finished 8-8. Our head coach at that time, who the hell was our head coach? Oh, Greg Williams. Greg Williams, the guy who's the defensive guy. By the way, our defensive team ranked 28th that season.
Oh my!
28th. We had the guru of defense coaching us, and he had the 28th ranked defense. What does that tell you? Bad coaching, bad GM. That's why we finished 8-8. Because if you had a better coach in place, our defense would have been probably better. It doesn't matter. Like Belichick, and I'll give you a great example. Belichick's defense has never had all-star guys. Like guys that are like, oh yeah, he's going to Hall of Fame. This guy. No, he just had guys that fit his system. He knew how to coach them up, and that's what a great coach does. He doesn't have to have top star players all the time, and that's why Belichick was always good on. He's a defensive guru. That's a defensive coach right there. He knew how to set. Now, GM wise, not so good, and that's why I think now they're tumbling. And it amazes me that when I watch ESPN, Max Kellerman picks the Patriots to finish first in the AFC East. That is mind-boggling, but I get it. It's for TV. It's for ratings.
I missed that.
Yeah, he picked them to go to finish first. So if he has them going first, he has them winning what, 12 games? Because 13. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. But that's not going to happen. They're going to probably finish, like I said, under. They're going to have like 7 wins. 7 and 10. I see him going. I just can't see him winning more. But anyways, yeah, man. So back to my point. I feel like you guys finally have done what we did 3 seasons ago, which really 4 seasons, let's say, which was hire a good GM, hire a good coach, and now you guys are seeing the results. You're seeing the results, and that's what counts. And if Tua's not the guy, I feel that's okay. You guys just do what you got to do. Draft another quarterback. Listen, it's never too late. Like I said, look at Arizona. They got the right guy in place.
Let me ask you a question real quick, and I'll just say this.
Yep.
If you were a Dolphins GM right now, and you're looking at the Buffalo Bills, whatever, the Patriots, Jets, but would you trade Xavier Howard?
If I'm a Dolphins GM?
If you're the Dolphins GM right now, would you trade him or would you pay him? You're looking at your team right now, the Buffalo Bills. You're looking at the Chiefs, and you're like, what would you do?
Well, listen, cornerbacks, you got to have good cornerbacks in this league. And Buffalo Bills, we have one of the best in Trey White. He's an All-Pro.
Yep.
But our number 2 cornerback is Levi Wallace, who's
I did see
a
that.
decent.
Yeah.
He's a decent quarterback. He's a decent number 2. We could get better, but he's serviceable. Now my point is you have to have that number 1 cornerback, right? So if you guys got a top 5 cornerback, which we do too, I feel like Trey White. If we're gonna do like a list, I would
Absolutely.
I would say Xavier
he's
Howard
there.
and Trey White are damn close, man. Like
Yeah.
they're somewhere. You could put one at 5, one at 4, or one at 4 and one at 3, something like that. But they're right there next to each other. So losing a guy.
No, wait a minute. Hold
yeah,
on.
100%.
10 interceptions.
No, I get that, but my point is
10 interceptions. Come on, put some more respect on his name there.
No, listen.
Go ahead.
It's
Go
not.
ahead.
I get that, and I'm saying top
Okay.
5, but
I'm looking for number 1. I'm looking for
I
number
get that.
1.
But at the end of the day, it's not always about interceptions, because
I know.
Trey, because if you lock your man down, they don't throw your way. It doesn't matter. You're doing your job. Trey White, and I know you don't watch a lot of Buffalo Bills games. He guards the best receivers and usually locks them down.
Hey, listen, last year, you know that, I actually watched a little bit more. But let me just say this. If you look at over the past decade, the corners that have matched 10 interceptions, if you look at a handful of them, maybe 3 out of, let's say, hypothetically talking, out of 3 out of 5, they're all Hall of Famers. I mean, you're looking at, it's crazy.
Well,
so that's what I'm saying is, like, we need.
I get that. But you got
game changers. We need our game changers.
No doubt. I'm not you're asking. That's why I'm trying to answer your question.
Okay.
So listen.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So my point was, he's a top 5 cornerback in the league, no doubt about it in my mind.
Okay.
Now, it all obviously comes down to dollars and cents, right? What does he want? Does he want to be the highest paid corner in the league? Well, that's crazy money, right? Because Jalen Ramsey, I believe, is right. So Jalen Ramsey is the highest paid, I believe, right now for the Rams. Now the Rams always overpay their players, so that's not saying much, right? But you got to have. Listen, at the end of the day, you got to make the move that's best for your team, right? So your GM is going to know what's best for your team, because if you overpay. And I'm not saying maybe it's not overpaying. Maybe you're paying crazy money.
Will you pay him or not? Say it.
It depends on what he wants to get paid.
No,
he wants to be the highest.
Say it. Are you going to pay him or not?
Honestly, yes, I would pay him.
Thank you.
I would pay him, because you have to have that lockdown corner. Because I'm going to tell you right now, going against teams like Buffalo Bills, for instance, we have one of the best. We have probably the best receiver in the game, in my opinion. He's the best route runner in the game. He led the league last year in receptions, led the league in yards.
I would love him to be a Dolphin.
Well, that's not happening. And we have a deep receiving core, probably one of the best in the NFL, with Cole Beasley, who almost had 1,000 yards last season. We have Emmanuel Sanders, who's a proven veteran, who had almost 800 yards last season. And missed some games. He's a beast. We have Gabe Davis, who's coming off a pretty good rookie season. I believe he's going to even get better. And then McKenzie's a pretty cool little gadget guy, man. So we have a deep receiving core. So if you don't have a good corner, good luck, because we're gonna kill you. And what I saw from you guys last season when we played that last game, by the way, shame on you guys, because we had our number 2s in there. There was no excuse for putting it.
Hey, let's not bring up that game, okay? All right.
The shit show that you guys did on defense. I expected a better defense. It's funny, that game, how it started. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe the Dolphins came to play. You guys had an interception right away, a really nice one too. And I was like, damn, okay. And then it just kind of like, you guys just went into hiding, man. It was really weird.
It fell out real quick. And then, but hey, if you're a real fan and you look at a game like that, you see the differences between good teams and I really honestly thought, and it's just me being honest, I really thought the Buffalo Bills will be Super Bowl champions, but and the great
Well,
teams, the good teams, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
that if you're a Dolphins fan, you got to be honest. And you want to say that's where you want your team to be when you face
No doubt. Listen,
quick adversity. You want to,
yeah.
you know.
You guys played an AFC Championship squad of the Buffalo Bills, who should have went to the Super Bowl, but it's okay. Look, what I noticed about my squad, and maybe it's going to happen to you guys, is each season we learned. So we went to the Houston Texans playoff game, Josh Allen's second season. We were up in that game. We lost, wound up losing, a heartbreaker. What did we do the very next season? Josh improves. The coaching's improved. The offensive coordinator, which, by the way, I don't like. But anyways, he improved. And we got to the AFC Championship. So now this season, I'm hoping to get to the Super Bowl. Now, you guys, for instance, your first year with your coach and GM, I don't think you didn't make it to the playoffs, but you played very well for the team you had. The next season, you guys were a 10-win season. That's very impressive. Any other season, by the way, with 10 wins would have got you in the playoffs. It just was a lot of good teams last season. So that's nothing to hang your head on. Now this season, your goal should be the playoffs. Realistically, I don't think you guys are an AFC East, contender, but that doesn't mean you can't be a wild card team.
Sure.
It doesn't mean you can't sneak into, because listen, the AFC right now, if I'm going to look at the total AFC right now, and I'm going to be real, is we got the Kansas City's the top dog in AFC right now. We have to beat Kansas City. It's just the way it's going to have to be. But right now, if you're going to rank the rankings how I have it, you got KC at 1 until we beat them. Number 2, Buffalo Bills for sure. Number 3, I'm going to give it to Tennessee Titans right now because they got Julio Jones, AJ Brown. They got the best running back in the league, and they got a serviceable quarterback. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is a top 10, but he's definitely a top 15. He's definitely a quarterback that can win games. He's not like a crappy, he's not like who am I looking for? The Baltimore old quarterback that played a Flacco. He's not like a Flacco where he's just, you're gonna win a few games, but you're gonna rely more on the running back. No, he can make some plays. So they're a dangerous team. I got them being a dangerous team. And then after that, I don't see Pittsburgh being good. I don't see the Patriots being good. Like I already said, the Jets are not going to play good. The Raiders are the Raiders. I don't have any faith in John Gruden. I think they way overpaid on Gruden. I don't think Derek Carr's a good quarterback. So forget that team. The Chargers, which it blows my mind that everyone's having the Chargers go to the Super Bowl, which is really amazing to me. That's not happening. And then you got the Colts, who Carson Wentz just got injured. So good luck there. And that would have been a decent team if Wentz would have stayed healthy, which I knew wasn't going to happen. Wentz has been injury prone through his whole career, and he's already injured. And I think he's out for the season, I think. I had to look into that. And then you got the guy. Yeah, go ahead. Then you got the Rams in the NFC that they're saying is going to the Super Bowl, which is amazing because they got an older quarterback from the Lions, Stafford, which is it's just not going to happen. It's just funny to me. But go ahead.
Real quick, and I'll just touch on this real quick. And then as far as the Buffalo Bills draft and in the first round, I really felt like the Buffalo Bills. I understand the pick. If he pans out, Gregory Rousseau, if he pans out, by all means, smart pick. It works out. That makes you guys even more dangerous. But if you were to go, let's say if you were to go, I felt like the Buffalo Bills should have gone running back. I felt like there were some options there. Help Josh Allen out even more. I mean,
there wasn't. So let me explain why. And early on, how I thought, and I'll be brutally honest about the running back position. I think Devin Singletary is a good running back. Is he great? No, but
real quick, let me just interrupt.
Yeah.
If I were to find a weakness on your team, I would say it's running back. Why not address it?
No. See, and I'll explain why. Okay. If I have a weakness on a
and I'm
team,
just looking at a standard of like, hey,
yeah, but you're
got
looking
a great
at
quarterback. He can
no.
run. You got great wide receivers. Help him
Well,
out with the running back, even more deadly. You know.
Well, okay. So I'll explain something to you. So as far as our weakness on our offense, if you're going to call one, it would probably be, as of right now, our tight end position. If there's going to be weakness, I don't agree with you on the running back for a couple of reasons. One, Devin Singletary, who we drafted, by the way, was a 3rd-round draft pick in 2019. He averaged 5 yards a carry, which led the league, and he got nearly 800 yards rushing. He was barely used his rookie season. That's a very good rookie season. The next
Correct.
season, which was last season, our offensive line came in banged up. We had terrible Brian Winters, who constantly held, constantly offsides. We were a bad run blocking offense. It was bad. Like, if you watch our games, they were always in the backfield. So that's a huge reason why our running back struggled last season, especially Devin Singletary. It really wasn't his fault. That also goes back to Brian Dable, who gave up on the running, and we were mainly a wide receiver, a 4 to 5 receiver set. We didn't really run much. So,
well,
point.
That's what I was going to say is that, wait, if you look at the
Your hands
AFC
over your
Championship
phone.
game, I'm sorry.
There you go.
If you look at the AFC Championship game, a running game would have helped you.
No. So let me explain the AFC Championship game after this. And no, okay, I'm being real here. I'm being
okay.
I get what you're saying, but listen to me. Listen to me first. So as far as last season running goes, we just weren't a running team, and we figured that by week 4, right? Week 3, week 4, we went. What was our best? Our best style was pass heavy, and we won 13 games. We were 13-3 because of how we played, right? We were the number 2 offense in the league on how we played. That had nothing to do with running. I felt we lost that Kansas City game not because of the running, but because we played it safe and tried to run the ball with TJ Yeldon. Made no sense to me. We didn't hardly use TJ Yeldon the whole season, and we decided to play him against the Chiefs. Why? Because our game plan against the Chiefs were to keep the Chiefs off the field and Mahomes off the field. So we wanted to play keep away, keep them off the field as much as we can, which was a mistake. To me, I felt like the Bills should have just played pass heavy, and I think the game would have been high scoring, and it would have probably came down to the last 5 minutes of the game. That's how I thought the game was going to go. It was going to be like 38-33, something like that. That's how I saw that game going. I felt like we did the total opposite. We tried to run the ball, because if you go back and look at that game, we ran TJ Yeldon a lot. We ran Josh Allen more. We didn't do 4 or 5 receiver sets like we were doing all season. We try to play it safe mode. And that's my whole point about the learning process of the coaching staff, because I think McDermott, even if you remember,
I respect that,
before the first half ended, we kicked a field goal on a 4th down and 1. During the season, we went plenty of times on 4th down, and we decided to kick a field goal. Right there, the game was over, in my opinion. We were playing it safe the whole game, and we lost because we played it safe.
I agree.
I would have much rather we go all out on offense, and we just try to match them, and hopefully it comes down to the last 2 minutes, last 5 minutes of the game. That's how I felt. Now, you want to talk about running backs into the draft. Okay. I'm going to be real here. As much as I love Devin Singletary, I know that he's not a great running back. He's definitely a serviceable running back. I was all on Najee Harris. If we could have picked up Najee Harris, no doubt about it, I would have picked up Najee Harris. But remember, we picked 30th, I believe, or 28th or something, like 29. We had a very late pick. Najee Harris was off the board by then. He went to Pittsburgh. ATN went off the board by then, right? He went to Jacksonville. We weren't Brandon Beane. One thing about our GM and what makes a smart GM is this. We could have traded up, sure, but did we need to trade up? Did we need the running back position filled that badly to waste an asset on a first-round pick? Because that's what it would have took.
Yeah, I would agree with
exactly.
that.
So I don't feel like I think Brandon Beane looked and said, you know what? Okay, he's off the board. The running backs are off the board, the guys that we were looking at. You know what? Let's just get the Gregory Rousseau. I think the guy has a high ceiling. We need an edge rusher because we do need edge rusher. You got to remember, Jerry Hughes, Mario Addison are both pretty much done. They're on their last years of their contract, and they're both aging veterans. So this is probably it for them. We needed to fill those positions, and that was very smart by drafting a guy with a high ceiling. Why not get him in there now with Jerry Hughes, who can teach him up? He's a veteran. He's going to help him out. Running back, you can always, listen, one thing about running back, and I'm a true believer in this, you never overpay for a running back, one, because you can always get them in a draft. There's so many, right? That's one. So they're only good for 4 or 5 seasons, and then you move on. That's usually how the NFL works, right? You don't overpay on running backs because there's a dime a dozen. They're just all over the place. And there are always good ones available in late rounds. Sometimes they're round 2, round 3, so you can get a running back. I'm not concerned if Devin Singletary doesn't wind up working out. It's not a big deal. My concern more really in that draft, which I felt like we didn't address, was cornerback. I really wanted a good cornerback next to Trey White. I like Levi Wallace, but I kind of felt like we need a little bit more help there. And then, of course, tight end position. That's why we were trying to get Zach Ertz, but I think Eagles want way too much, and Bean's not going to give crazy draft picks for an aging tight end. Sure. I like Zach Ertz, but he's just not going to do it. So right now we got Dawson Knox, who I still feel like he has potential. So yeah, that's how I felt. That's how I felt the season went.
I just looked at it as, you guys were so close. You guys have the literally the it factor quarterback. I mean, he can do it all. He's got the arm. He can run. He can read he's got it all. You know what I mean?
Remember,
so it's just like, why not get that running back? Just go get him and see. Let's just see. You're so close. But hey,
we're a young team, Daryl. That's one thing you got to remember. Last season wasn't like we have to win or now, right? And I don't even think this season is we must win or now. We're a very young team. Like, that's the good thing. Like, Josh Allen's going to get an extension. You got to remember, look at the squad we have. Even Diggs is pretty young. Like, all of our players are young. We just got edge rushers in the draft. They're going to, so our whole team is really young, man. Trey White's still young. Now our safeties are getting up there, but they're the best, probably one of the best safety duos in the NFL. So we're not really like, oh, this has to be the season or else. I feel like we're getting better and better. And also, by the way, our GM and coach got extended as well. So it's not like, oh my God, McDermott's last season, we have to do it now because he may not come back. Or, oh my God, Brandon Beane, our GM, is moving on to another team. Bro, these guys are locked in. So I feel like my team's good to go for a little while, man. I feel like you guys, with your GM and coach as well, I feel like you guys are on the right track. Now, Mr. Daryl, I want to get into stuff because, man, we went over an hour. So we're going to make this quick.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's okay. So I'm going to quickly go through some stuff with you real quick because we got to get off this. So, Madden ratings. Now, I'm not a big Madden guy. I play it because it's the only freaking football game out there.
I'm not a big Madden guy either.
Right.
I tried to dabble a little bit. Go ahead.
It's the same game every season, but you're forced to buy it because they update the roster and they do nothing with the gameplay, but whatever. I was an NFL 2K guy. If anyone's played that game, it's still, if you look and Google that up for any young timers that are Madden freaks, the NFL 2K is still rated the best football game ever. So just a heads up. And still today, when you do a side-by-side comparison of like players getting hit, the players' movement, 2K is still more realistic than Madden, which is we're in years later with different game system. It's amazing.
It was a great game. It was a great game.
It's amazing Madden can't get it right, man. They got so many glitches. But anyways, they came out with their list of top players, like their rating list that they call them. So their top quarterbacks. I got a little issue with some of these. Okay, number one. Who do you think it is? If you had a guess.
Top quarterback?
Yeah, this is Madden 22. Their top rated quarterback. Who would it be?
Number one quarterback. I'm gonna say they probably. I know it's not Tom Brady. I saw that he was a little bent out of shape. He wasn't his rating, Um, I'm thinking that they probably went either Lamar Jackson, but more than likely it's probably going to be Patrick Mahomes.
There you go. Okay. So Patrick Mahomes, and that's fair enough. That is
That's
fair
fair.
enough. Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback, a great quarterback right now, especially for his age. He's already won a Super Bowl. Fine. Fine,
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He's proven himself already in his young career. Number 2, Tom Brady. See, this is where I'm like, I don't know. Now, I know he's the greatest ever, no doubt about it. I'm not going to argue with anybody that says any different. And I hate Tom Brady because he's freaking killed the division so many years.
Yep.
But number 2 right now in 2022, he had a good season last season. Sure, statistically, he had a good season, not a great season. And they're saying Madden 22 top rated. So I don't know about that. I would put him in the top 10, but not number 2. Number 3,
Right.
Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. Number 4, Russell Wilson. I don't know. I think he's top 10, but I don't see him at number 4
I don't know about
spot.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like he kind of fell off the end of the year last season. Number 5, Lamar Jackson. See, I got a problem with number 5. He's definitely number 10, but Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, I think what you see now is what you get. I feel like he's going to have a problem in his career later on because they're just rushing him way too much. I feel like his arm talent, that's what it is. What you see is what you get. I don't think that's going to get better. I think he's a running quarterback, and I think eventually that's going to take a toll on him. And I felt like last season he took a step back. And I think defenses are reading him. I think defenses are reading him more. So I don't know. I don't agree with that. With that spot.
I can agree, but I'm going to kind of disagree a little bit. I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. I think that he's got.
No, I'm not saying he's bad.
Everybody knows he's got great talent, but I do think that he will. I think he could be great, and I think he has that in him.
I don't think so. I think he struggles. I think he struggles on the pass, man. I think it showed in the playoffs, man. I do. Both
I think
playoffs.
that he has enough talent. The division that he is, and let me tell you something. The Dolphins have seen them enough. They're always very hard nosed. They play great defense. They play, they got Hollywood Brown there. Let's see. But I think that he does have enough talent to where he could be something like, he could eventually get a championship, maybe multiple. That's my perspective on it. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I do think that the fact that he does run, arms, but I think he is constantly working. I think he plays with a chip on the shoulder, but he is susceptible to injuries. You know what I mean?
But, like I said, bro, listen, running quarterbacks, even Josh Allen. Yes. I love that he's mobile, but you got to eventually, during these guys' career, dial it back because they're going to get hurt. They're going to, not only that, right. They're taking hits throughout their career. It's going to take years off their shelf. That's just the way it works, man. They're going to get hit by some dude, or they're whatever, a freak injury because they're running around, and boom, he's out for the season. What does that do? That hurts your whole team. So I don't know, man. Like I think Josh Allen, as far as like I think every season you're going to see Josh Allen's rushing go down and down, and it's already have. It's already has compared for his rookie season, his next season. Rushing yards have went down every season. Now, number 6, Deshaun Watson. Now, I think Deshaun Watson is in the top 5. If I were going to move that, I don't think he's 6. I think he's better than Lamar Jackson. I think he's better than Russell Wilson at this point. That's just my opinion. Number 7.
Go ahead. Okay.
All right. Number 7, Josh Allen.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go.
I was going to say real quick, Deshaun Watson, I would agree with you on that. Coming out of college, I didn't think that he'd be worth a shit. I just had that feeling that he wouldn't be that good. He's completely surprised me. But now that you brought up Josh Allen, and I hate saying this, but he should probably be in the top fucking 5 of anything. I hate saying that, but go ahead.
Well, Josh Allen's number 7, and by the way, he should be top 5. He's a runner-up in MVP.
Yes.
He got MVP votes. It wasn't like, Patrick Mahomes didn't get any votes. So
right.
I feel like Josh Allen's definitely top 5. I would put him
He
at
should be.
if I would probably put him at 3. But whatever. So moving on. Here's where I'm like, what? Dak Prescott at 8, Ryan Tannehill at 9, and Matt Ryan at 10. So I gotta be honest, man. I like Dak, but he's coming off a major injury.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be the
Huge
same.
injury, yeah.
I think he's gonna be
No.
I think he's gonna be good, but I don't think he's gonna be what he
Not
was.
the same.
Yeah, I think his mobility is gonna be is not gonna be as good. I think he's gonna be hesitant of getting hit, or of even running, taking off. So I don't know about that. Ryan Tannehill at 9, I guess, and Matt Ryan at 10. I'd have to look at the other quarterbacks, but Matt Ryan, to me, I think is done, man. I think Matt Ryan, unfortunately, man, no Julio Jones now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I feel like that pocket passer is over with. Pocket, like pure pocket passers. I think this is it. I think Tom Brady, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, like that's it, man. Like once these guys are done, you will not see pocket passers anymore. All right, so moving on. So we got the top receivers. Number 1. Now this list I'll agree with a little bit. Number 1, DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, I guess that's fair enough. I'll give it to DeAndre's a beast, man. Tyreek Hill at 2, Stephon Diggs at 3. I don't know about Tyreek Hill at 2. I don't think he's a better route runner than Stephon Diggs. Tyreek Hill, super fast, no doubt about it. He can make a play. He's unbelievable. But I don't think he's as good as Diggs as far as route running goes. And Diggs led the league. I mean, it just proves my point. So I think Diggs should be number 2 at that spot. Tyreek Hill at 3 is fine with me. Julio Jones at 4. They have Michael Thomas at 5. And Keenan Allen at 6.
Yeah, I was about to touch that. Where's Michael Thomas at? At least top 3?
No. If I'm being real, I would probably pop Julio Jones down 1 spot and put Michael Thomas ahead of Julio Jones.
What?
Because because Julio Jones is still a beast, but he's older now. I think Michael Thomas is a little bit younger. I think Michael Thomas, the only problem though with Michael Thomas is good luck with Jameis Winston and the other quarterback because they're playing roulette over there. Who knows what's going to happen over there? And Keenan Allen, I really like a lot too, but he gets injured constantly. That's a problem, right? Now, let's see here. They got, guess what 2 is ranked, by the way? Like they're ranking us. The overall.
Hey man, like come on, like you get to rub salt here.
I'm telling you, they got him tied with Andy Dalton, 73. But they got him ahead of Carson Wentz. Oh, it's pretty bad.
By the way, it sucks about Carson Wentz, but
but I mean, it's one of those things. I kind of knew that was going to happen. Now, I'm going to run through this real quick, okay?
Go ahead.
All right. So the cornerbacks, real quick. I'll just do top 5. So
where's
you're not going to like this. You're not going to like this. We'll just do top 10 real quick. Jalen Ramsey, number 1. Fine. Stephon Gilmore, number 2. I don't think so. I think Gilmore's kind of fell off a little bit. I don't get that. Jair Alexander, I'll be honest, I don't know who that is, so I'm not going to comment on that. Trey White at 4. Marlon Humphrey at 5. And Xavier Howard at 6. See, I would move up Xavier Howard to put him at least top 5. Yeah, that's where they got him. Yeah, man.
Wow.
I'm trying to tell you. Now, edge rushers. Myles Garrett, 1.
Go ahead. Yes.
Myles Garrett, 1. Khalil Mack, 2. TJ Watt, 3. Chandler Jones, 4. JJ Watt, 5. See, I don't agree with that. JJ Watt. You were telling me that JJ Watt's better than that Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa, which are 8 and 9.
Nah.
Are JJ Watt's better at this stage of his career? I don't think so. JJ Watt has not been the same JJ Watt. How the hell? And Joey Bosa is a machine, and so is Nick Bosa. So what is going on with that? I don't get that. They got Von Miller ahead of Joey Bosa. That makes no sense to me. So,
What?
Yeah, bro, that makes no sense. Now, tight end, I'll agree with this. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Darren Waller, Mark Andrews, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Gesicki. You'll like that. He's at 8.
There we go.
TJ
There we
Hawkinson,
go.
9. Yeah, so that I'll give. And then, so those are the ratings. That's Madden. That's Madden for you. I feel like they're making, of course, a lot of wrong decisions there as far as the ratings go. Whoever's doing the ratings, and we're gonna run really quick because we're running out of time. The fantasy football, and I'm not gonna do every position. I was gonna do a lot of positions, but I'm not. So, as far as what you got in quarterback, who do you got? Who would you pick? Right, if you had, who's your top 3 quarterbacks? Fantasy football, like who's your top 3?
Obviously, inside
top 3.
joke with whoever's watching. Top 3 real quick. We're gonna go Josh Allen. I'm gonna go Russell, and then I'll go Vet. I'll go Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so you're gonna skip Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you know, Josh Allen won the fantasy DraftKings. He was the most highest fantasy. Okay, so very smart, very smart, wise decision, my friend. As far as let's see here, running back goes.
Where was Drew Brees on that list?
Yeah, he's retired on that list. Running back, who do you got number 1? Like who would you pick number 1? Like if you had an option, who you going with? You're going with, I'm gonna read down the top 4. Okay, we're gonna make this quick.
Okay,
and then you could choose if you had a choice. You got McCaffrey, you got Dalvin Cook, you got Derrick Henry and Kamara, and then I'll go Ezekiel Elliott. I'll do 5. Or Nick Chubb. I'll go 6.
I'm gonna take Kamara.
You're taking Kamara?
I'll take Kamara.
Over Derrick Henry.
I'm taking Kamara.
Okay, fair enough. Me personally,
every single time. Yeah,
I go Henry. I had Henry last season. I won last season, by the way, with him.
I don't blame you.
And he was a beast, bro. So hey, Kamara's a dog, man. So no problem. I'm not going to argue with that. I think that's fine. Why receiver? I'm going to name the first 6, and you can make your mind up. Tyreek Hill, Adams for the Green Bay, Stephon Diggs, Ridley, Hopkins, or Metcalf? Who you got?
I'm gonna go Diggs.
See, I'm gonna go him because I'm a homer. I'll pick him. The only thing is Diggs didn't have many touchdowns. He had more yards, he had a lot of yards, but the touchdowns is really what counts at the end of the day. So if I were to be not a Buffalo Bills fan, I probably wouldn't go Diggs. But obviously I will because I'm a homer and I always pick up my guys.
Yeah.
But I would say if I would probably go with Hopkins because of the touchdowns. But that's just what I'm going. Tight end. Here we go. Kittle. Kelce, Kittle, Waller. That's it. We'll just do 3. Or you're gonna go with your hometown.
Waller before.
Or would you go with your hometown?
Well, no.
Be honest. Okay.
No, I'm going Waller all day. Waller. I had him. I drafted him. Real deal, monster, Darren Waller all day.
Okay. Now, let's be real here at the end. This is my last thing I'm going to say. Who must you have on your fantasy football team from your Dolphins? Because I'm sure you have to pick at least one guy you like. Like no matter what, he's coming on my team. Like you might even draft him a little early. You might draft him even earlier just so nobody takes him. You get what I mean? Like I did that last season with all my players. So who would you take?
I'm thinking. That's a tough one.
Like who would be your just your favorite player, whatever. Who's the guy that you gotta have? You just need him on your fantasy team. You're just one of those guys. You don't want anyone else to have him.
And let me be real up front here. How many guys out there, and I know this is probably a Bills Mafia, but how many of you guys are really drafting Dolphins players in your fantasy team? Not that much. That's why it's kind of hesitant. But
Zero.
as a fan, if I'm really looking at it, as a fan, I would probably say I'm going to have to go with, Myles Gaskin, he was all right, but no, I don't believe in the small running back. I guess if I had to choose, I would choose Devontae Parker because he can be a red zone threat. He has that big playability. I guess I'll go with Devontae Parker. But I am a Dolphins fan, but I would not draft, and I'm just being honest, I wouldn't draft a Dolphins player in my fantasy team.
Well, hey, Daryl.
I'm being honest.
No, that's fine. I love your honesty, and also I love the fact that you came on my show and you were brutally honest about everything tonight. We went overtime, and I had a blast with you, man. We're gonna do this again. Yeah, when you get better reception and better lighting,
Yes, I will.
In that city of yours, that no good city of Miami, when you get better internet, get off AOL. AOL dial-up is over with. I don't know if you guys still are running to the stores and getting AOL 95 for your computer, but that is done with. It's time to jump on board to high-speed internet. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me. We're going to do this again.
Yeah, thank you. All Bills fans, come down for the season opener. Enjoy beautiful South Florida, and that way, hopefully, we pull off a win. We can boo the shit out of you guys at the stadium. Thank you for having me on.
No
Thank
problem,
you
brother.
so much.
No problem. All right, have a good one, man. All right, man.
All right.
I'm going to get you out of
here. You too. Bye-bye.
All right, brother. Later, brother. All right. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry. I know this show went on for an hour and a half. This is my longest show ever, but I had a good time, man. I had my friend on, Dolphin fan. I want to say thank you guys for watching, for whoever stayed on board. I hope you guys had a good time. Bills Mafia #1. Peace.